Assemble your party, storm the dungeon, fight the dragon, dare to delve deeper. Today we're talking about Dungeon Roll.
Dungeon Roll sees our brave adventurer and his party seeking fortune and glory by traversing dungeons, battling an assortment of monsters and fighting ferocious dragons.
Dungeon Roll comes in a cardboard box in the shape of a treasure chest. The chest is used not only to store the game, but also during gameplay. The box contains 7 white party dice, 7 black dungeon dice, 1 10-sided level die, 36 treasure tokens, 24 experience tokens, 8 double-sided hero cards, 4 player reference cards, 1 rulebook, also known as the Dungeon Delver's Guide, and 1 Book of Heroes. To set the game up, remove all contents from the box except the treasure tokens. Randomly select a hero card for each player, or choose one of your liking. Heroes are avatars that represent adventurers. Each hero card starts on the novice side and flips to the master side when the adventurer has collected enough experience tokens. Each hero has a specialty and an ultimate ability. The specialty may be used multiple times per delve. The ultimate ability may only be used once per delve, and the hero card is turned horizontal when the ultimate ability has been used, to show that it has been exhausted.
The hero delving into the dungeon first needs to form their party, which they do by rolling all 7 party dice. The party dice consist of the fighter, the cleric, the mage, the thief, the champion, and the scroll. The Dungeon Lord sets the 10-sided dice counter to 1. This dice shows the current dungeon level. The Dungeon Lord then populates the dungeon by rolling a number of dungeon dice equal to the current level. The dungeon dice consist of skeletons, goblins, ooze, potions, treasure chests, and last, but definitely not least, the dreaded dragon. Anytime a dragon is rolled, it is immediately moved aside into the dragon's lair. When 3 have been rolled, the dragon is then summoned and has to be dealt with during the dragon phase.
The adventurer's turn is divided into 4 phases: the monster phase, the loot phase, the dragon phase, and the regroup phase. The adventurer uses companions to help defeat monsters. If the adventurer fails to defeat all monsters, then they must flee the dungeon and the delve is over immediately, with no experience points gained. During the monster phase, the adventurer may perform the following in any order. Use a scroll to reroll any number of dungeon dice and party dice. Dragon faces must not be rerolled. Certain companions are more adept at dispatching certain types of monsters than others. The fighter defeats 1 skeleton, 1 ooze, or any number of goblins. The cleric defeats 1 goblin, 1 ooze, or any number of skeletons. The mage defeats 1 goblin, 1 skeleton, or any number of oozes. The thief defeats 1 goblin, 1 skeleton, or 1 ooze. And the champion may be used to defeat any number of goblins, skeletons, or oozes.
1 thief or champion may be used to open up any number of chests in the level. Any other companion may be used to open 1 chest. For each chest opened, the adventurer draws 1 token from the box. In the rare case that no treasure tokens remain in the box, the adventurer may receive 1 experience token instead. Any number of party die, including scrolls, can be used to quaff any number of potions. For each potion quaffed, the adventurer takes 1 party die from the graveyard and adds it to the party, choosing its face.
If there are 3 or more dice in the dragon's lair, the dragon arrives and the adventurer must do battle with it. It takes 3 different types of companions to defeat the dragon. If the adventurer fails to defeat the dragon, they must flee the dungeon, the delve is over, and no experience is gained. After defeating the dragon, the adventurer draws 1 treasure token from the chest and receives 1 experience token for defeating the dragon.
During the regroup phase, the adventurer receives experience tokens equal to that of the current dungeon level. If the dungeon level is at 10, the adventurer must retire and will receive 10 experience tokens and the delve is over. If the adventurer wants to delve even deeper, the Dungeon Lord increases the dungeon counter die by 1 and must repopulate the dungeon with monsters and loot. After the adventurer has either retired or fled the dungeon, all party and dungeon dice are passed to the player on the left. The dungeon lord becomes the new adventurer, and the player to their left becomes the new dungeon lord. The game ends after each player has had 3 delves. The player with the highest total experience is the winner. In the case of a tie, the tied player with the fewest treasure tokens is the winner. If still tied, the players rejoice in a shared victory. So Dan, what did you think of Dungeon Roll?
Yeah, look, I thought it was a really good game. It's an easy game to learn. It's a very quick game to play. It comes in a nice little box. The only issue I had is with the box itself. It's made of cardboard. It's a little bit flimsy around the hinge. So my concern is after opening and closing it a lot during gameplay that the hinge may come undone. Overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, Dan, I tend to agree with the quality of the box. Over time, there is a concern that it may actually break, forcing you to seek an alternative game container. But apart from that, the quality of the dice and the other components is really top notch. The only other downside for me in regards to the game is the press your luck style of gameplay, which just relies a lot more on luck than skill. But that aside, I'd still give the game a 6.5 out of 10. So there you have it, guys, our quick look at Dungeon Roll. Now, we're going to try and find our way out of this dungeon.
Google Maps says this way.